don't go deep on fighting. I go deep on, like, after I watched The Irishman, I went deep into Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh,
deep.
Yeah.
Because you don't learn about him in school.
No.
So I knew he went missing and was like,
but he's a union leader. He's like a guy.
But then you
It's
look
so
into it,
crazy
you're like,
how he disappeared.
It's insane.
It's
Well, it's
so
also
weird.
crazy how many people took credit for killing him.
A ton.
It was kind of like the.
Do they think this was?
Well, this is based off a book called Heard You Paint Houses, where it's from this guy, the Irishman, where a lot of people think he's full of shit.
Yeah.
And actually, there was a guy who's balls deep in Jimmy Hoffa.
That's kind of what ruined it for me because I read that people thought he was full of shit, so I had trouble with it.
Yes and no. But even the FBI is like, well, he's 8 on our list as far as suspects. So they were suspecting him. But when you look at, there was a guy who was balls deep in Jimmy Hoffa, came out with his like book, his official book.
Yeah.
Went up to Robert De Niro during the press and was like, dude, you fucked this. This guy's full of shit. This isn't the narrative. And you're glorifying this guy's bullshit book. And but the same thing, this Irish guy who said he did it, Frank Sharon, he also said he sold the guns that killed JFK. He said he's done a bunch of stuff.
So there's another book, there's a great book about Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman.
Yeah.
And he did he did the interview.
But Sammy the Bull Gravano said he's not even didn't even work for the mafia. A lot of these guys just.
Who, Kuklinski?
They all say he's a piece of shit.
Oh, Sharon. Well, Kuklinski.
Johnny Alite and fucking a bunch of hitmen were like, this guy's a fucking.
This guy, Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, and there's a book by a guy named Philip Carlo that wrote this book. And Kuklinski was this Polish guy from Jersey City. And he worked for all 7 families.
Terrible guy.
Including New Jersey. Terrible guy. Watch his brother get beat to death in front of him. Read that book. It's so fucking crazy. They made a really shitty movie about him with Michael Shannon.
I watched it.
I was bummed out. I was so hyped when they were making it because I love Michael Shannon. But if you watch the old HBO interviews,
it's so creepy.
So creepy.
Iceman?
The Iceman.
So creepy, dude.
So they called him the Iceman because he didn't give a shit. But
why
in the book,
why do they all say he was a piece of shit and wasn't even in the mafia? He might have
No,
done
hold
a
on.
good
Keep
job.
going on the Iceman.
Oh,
He was Frank Sharon.
He was he was
legit.
He did dirt for everyone. The Gambinos.
But Johnny Alite.
But what did he say about Hoffa?
He said he killed Hoffa. In the book, in the interview, he was like, I went to Chicago. I was in Chicago. He tells how he did it. He said he stabbed him in the back of the head, kept the knife in, then they drove it to a fucking compound lot and got rid of the car. In the book, The Iceman by Philip Carlo.
And where does he say the body's at?
He just says he doesn't know. He said it got compacted,
I feel
got
like
put into steel, and he doesn't know.
The Irishman was near him, though. The character who plays
Irishman was friends with him, but the Irishman was also in Detroit at the time.
He was also with him all the time, right?
He kind of, yes, confident for sure. But the other thing is, when they say he was buried under the giant stadium.
Oh, yeah, the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they looked into that. There's so many, the mafia who did all the construction for all the stadiums basically in the East Coast.
Yeah.
They uprooted and went through it. They found so many bodies buried under there, they stopped reporting it.
That's so funny.
Because they're like, he might be down there.
New York was
There's
wild.
so many bodies.
New York in the 70s and 80s, they're like,
Dude,
I don't know, you want to put them in the fucking dirt?
Skyline. So the Skyline on the 20s, like a meatpacking where it's like a beautiful place. Now you walk up there. It was an old railroad thing.
Yeah.
Dude, they found so many bodies up there. Yeah. It wasn't just homeless people. It was like, the mob would just... Because, again, what brought the mob to its knees? Video cameras.
Just catching them.
Well, but you can't kill people anymore.
Yeah.
Because they can trace you with video cameras. The cops just go, dude, they do it. They just draw a line.
Well, now
it changed the entire
sex
game.
trafficking and heroin.
Yeah, they used to just kill guys. Bodies were dropping all over the place.
Dude, I bet if you went through the East River...
Oh my god!
And just fucking trolled it. All the skulls you would pull up,
dude,
and the guns.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. That's the thing about like growing up in Colorado. There's like a history of Colorado that's maybe 115 years old, maybe before it was Apache and Arapaho,
all Native Americans,
all the tribes that lived there.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, Western Sioux. Just really respecting the land, being decent, and then white man coming through putting down tracks. But you go to New York, there's these buildings that are like 400 years old, 500 years old, and you're like, oh, I bet there are bodies.
100%.
Bodies.
With Jimmy Hoffa, how they can't find the body, is it buried in the Yankee Stadium, Giant Stadium? Maybe. But, they owned all the businesses. So if they did just, set the body on fire, that makes most sense where they can't find it.
Well, also, what I guess the guys used to do, or Gambinos used to do, is they would take your body, kill you, bleed you.
Yeah.
And then they cut you up.
Oh, that's like Roy DeMeo in the Murder Machine.
Throw you off the boat. They throw you off the boat and you'd be fish food.
Yeah, well, they do
cut
that.
You up in little pieces.
There's this place called Gemini Lounge. They used to be in Brooklyn. And Roy DeMeo, it was called the Murder Machine. These these assassins for the Gambino family and the Gaudis, they would just kill people, and they had a restaurant in the front, and then in the back was like kind of an apartment, and there was a bathtub. Kuklinski talks about him in his book.
Yeah.
And he said these guys would just drip dry them like deer. They'd
Yeah.
just cut them open and let them bleed out,
Yeah.
and then they would just take them out and cut their hands and their
Well, they also used to put you in a. The other thing they do is they put you in a car masher. So they put you in the car.
That's what he says he did with Hoffa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then and you'd be under 50 tons of steel.
Yeah, you're dead.
You'd never be
They're
found.
not-
But he said he stabbed Hoffa in the back of the head, then put him in one of those things, and now he's just a cube of fucking metal.
Sure.
Oh, I did read that.
Yeah.
By the way, you're dead. See you later.
Yeah, but Kuklinski, you want to hear it. That book is a fun read.
Is it super dark though?
Super dark.
But
he used to take.
I can read gangsters killing gangsters. I can't like I was reading the serial killer book by Hunter. It was so dark because there's kids involved and I have kids. I can't do it.
Yeah,
but if it's gangster on gangster, I'm all about it.
Read that.
Oh, man.
It's a good one. There are a couple moments where like when he was a teenager and he learned he just didn't care about taking life. He talks
Animals?
about this in the book. Animals first when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Then in the fucking 50s and 60s, he would go along the West Side Highway and he would bump into homeless people. And whatever ones gave him attitude, he would hunt and kill. That's how he practiced.
But he had a family, right?
Loved his family.
That's right.
Loved his family.
Good
Loved
dad.
his daughters. Loved his daughters, but then would beat the shit out of his wife.
Bad person.
Yeah, he's a bad person. But man, what an interesting fucking
His
book.
dad used to beat the fuck out.
What if
Dad beat his brother to death in front of him when he was 5. And that's why he said he had no.
What if failure?
His brother was 7 and he
Oh,
was
wow.
5, and he watched his dad
that's-
I
beat
thought
the
his
shit
brother
out.
was in jail with him.
Yeah, he had a younger brother too.
Oh, okay.
That was like, yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Well, that'll change.
Boy, they dropped the ball in the movie though.
really dropped it. I
It
was
could
so
have
excited.
been so good.
Michael Shannon's the shit.
Scorsese, pick this role up, dude. Pick this
Yeah.
script up, bro. Let's
Yeah.
redo it.
He worked for all 7 families too, because he was Polish. So they're like, oh, you can never be
He didn't
made.
have a promoter, so he's
Yeah.
just kind of free
The
agent.
guy who was willing to do
He
whatever.
would just show up and kill. They said the first hit he did, they went to the West Village, and this one of the mobsters gave him a gun and was like, see that guy walking down the street with his dog? Kill him. Kuklinski just got out, popped him in the head, got back in, and the guy was like, well, you made of ice? And that's where like they started calling him the Iceman.
Jesus Christ.
He just shot him, got back in, and was like, there you go. Is that what you wanted? and the guy's like,
treated
what
like-
the fuck? What the
Well,
fuck?
his father destroyed him a long
Yeah.
time ago. His father just obviously turned the light out inside that kid's head.
Yeah, he was kind of like, watch me make a machine.
What a
That's just-
piece of shit.
Tell you
Yeah,
this
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect.